Welcome back. Dear friends, this channel is a place where I always try to share gentle, practical, and easy-to-follow advice to help everyone over the age of 60 live a healthier and more peaceful life each day. Every video is a small gift, prepared with all the love and respect I have for your health. Have you ever thought that just a small spoonful of white powder from your kitchen could change the way you feel about your health every single day? It is not a medicine. It is not a complicated treatment. It is something simple that many people have unknowingly overlooked for many years. In today's video, we will explore a very simple drink that requires only a glass of warm water and a bit of baking soda. Yet this drink may help soothe or improve up to 8 common health issues in older adults. These benefits come not only from traditional knowledge, but also from research supported by respected institutions such as Harvard and the United States National Institutes of Health. And if you have ever experienced symptoms like joint pain, fatigue, heartburn, or mouth inflammation, then do not miss a single moment. At the end of the video, there will be an important reminder on how to use it safely and effectively. Please stay with me until the very last minute to discover something that might gently and lovingly change your everyday life. And now, let us begin with the amazing benefits of baking soda. 1. Supporting kidney function. There is something that many people only realize as they grow older. It is the frightening silence of the kidneys. They make no noise and give no clear signals. Yet day after day, they work tirelessly. They filter every drop of blood and remove toxins from the body. When we are young, few people pay attention to them, but as we age, especially when accompanied by conditions such as diabetes, high blood pressure, or persistent fatigue, we begin to worry. The kidneys do not speak when they are tired. They show signs through things that may seem small, a bit of swelling in the feet in the afternoon, waking up several times at night to urinate, or feeling exhausted even after a full night's sleep. These changes, if ignored, can lead to a dangerous cycle where kidney function gradually declines over time. This is where baking soda, that white powder often used for baking or removing odors from the refrigerator, becomes an unexpectedly helpful friend. Many recent studies, including reports from the United States National Institutes of Health, have shown that sodium bicarbonate in baking soda may help the kidneys work more effectively, especially in people with early-stage chronic kidney disease. The story begins with a condition called mild metabolic acidosis. This happens when the body builds up acid due to the kidneys no longer being able to remove it effectively. This condition not only damages cells, but also causes kidney disease to progress more quickly. Taking a small amount of baking soda may help neutralize excess acid in the blood and reduce the burden on the kidneys. A long-term study found that patients who were given bicarbonate under medical guidance experienced a much slower decline in kidney function. Many of them were even able to avoid dialysis. They maintained a better quality of life and preserved their independence in daily activities. However, just like any other form of support, baking soda is not suitable for everyone. Because it contains sodium, it may not be appropriate for people with severe high blood pressure, heart failure, or significant fluid retention. Therefore, if you have underlying health conditions, it is important to consult your doctor before trying it. But for those who are simply looking for gentle support, a way to cooperate with the body without relying entirely on medication, a glass of warm water mixed with half a teaspoon of baking soda, taken a few times a week, could be a safe starting point. It is not just a drink. It is a way to say thank you to your kidneys for their silent service over the decades. And the most beautiful part lies in the simplicity of this solution. No need to go to the hospital, no need for a prescription. Just a small corner of your familiar kitchen is enough for you to do something kind for yourself. It is the feeling of taking initiative. It is an expression of love for your own body. 2. Relieving gout flare-ups. If you have ever experienced a gout attack, you will likely never forget that feeling. It comes suddenly, like a storm in the night. Your foot joint becomes swollen, red, burning hot, and so painful that even the slightest breeze can make your whole body tighten in discomfort. Gout is not just pain. It is a lingering torment, affecting every step you take, every night's sleep, and every morning you wake up with worry. For many older adults, gout becomes an unwanted part of life. Despite careful diets, regular medications, and a more moderate lifestyle, the painful attacks still return from time to time. They serve as an unpleasant reminder of aging and how the body changes over the years. But strangely enough, sometimes the answer is not far away. It may be right in the kitchen. Baking soda, the same familiar white powder, may help ease the pain of gout when used properly. It might sound hard to believe, but science supports this idea. The root cause of gout is uric acid. When uric acid levels in the blood become too high and the body cannot remove it fast enough, it crystallizes and builds up in the joints. These tiny crystals, sharp like glass, trigger strong inflammation, leading to severe joint pain. And here is the interesting part. Uric acid dissolves more easily in an alkaline environment. That is why baking soda can help. When mixed with warm water and taken, baking soda creates a mild alkaline condition in the body. This helps uric acid dissolve more easily and allows the kidneys to remove it through urine. As a result, the amount of uric acid crystals stored in the joints may decrease, which can reduce pain and lower the chances of another flare-up. Some recent studies have also shown that using bicarbonate in the right amount, under medical guidance, can help lower uric acid levels in people with chronic gout. Of course, baking soda does not replace prescribed medications, but it may serve as a quiet helper that supports prevention and better management. Equally important is the feeling of being proactive in your own health journey. When you gently stir a small spoon of baking soda into a glass of warm water, it is more than just a simple act. It is a gesture of care for your body. It is a sign that you are not giving up, but still trying to find better ways to live more comfortably each day. Naturally, not everyone should use baking soda freely. If you have heart problems, high blood pressure, or need to follow a low-sodium diet, you should consult a doctor before using it, but if it suits your condition. This can be a simple, low-cost, and especially easy remedy to use right at home. Just imagine waking up one morning without swelling or pain in your big toe. Imagine walking without hesitation. That is not only physical relief, it is also a quiet joy, a precious gift you give to yourself after so many years of suffering from joint pain. 3. Relieving muscle pain after physical activity. There are mornings when, the moment you place your feet on the floor, you suddenly realize your legs feel stiff, as if they never rested at all. Just bending down to pick up a dropped item can make your body resist. For many people in their later years, this is not just a sign of aging, it is also a reminder of the effects from simple movements done the day before. Perhaps a short walk in the park, tending to a few garden beds, or trying some light exercises, and the next morning, the whole body feels sore. Many older adults have experienced that feeling, and gradually, they begin to avoid physical activity. Instead of continuing with activities that are actually good for their health, they choose to rest, afraid that muscle pain will make everything worse. But this is unfortunate, because when we stop moving, the body actually ages even faster. The key is not to avoid activity, but to find ways to help the body recover gently after each movement. And this is where baking soda quietly steps in as a helpful companion. During physical activity, the body produces a substance called lactic acid. This is the main reason muscles ache after exercise, especially if you do not exercise regularly. When too much of this acid builds up, the body takes longer to recover, leading to extended feelings of fatigue and tightness. Science has shown that baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, can help neutralize the lactic acid that accumulates in muscles. When diluted and taken after exercise, it acts like a biological buffer. It helps lower the acidity in the blood, easing the soreness and helping the body return to balance more quickly. A glass of warm waters with half a teaspoon of baking soda after a walk or light movement may help you feel more comfortable the next day. No need for painkillers, no ice packs, and no long periods of rest. Just one small action, but it can make a big difference in how your body recovers. Even more importantly, the act of caring for yourself after activity brings a positive mental effect. When you know there is a simple way to relieve muscle pain, you will feel less hesitant and more ready to return to daily activities. A morning walk, an afternoon spent tending plants, or a gentle exercise session will no longer be interrupted by hidden worries. However, as always, safety must come first if you have heart conditions, high blood pressure, or if your doctor has advised you to limit sodium intake. You should consult a professional before using baking soda. It is not a miracle cure, but when used correctly, it can be a gentle bridge that helps your body recover from within. And above all, never give up. Aging is not the end of movement. It is the time to move in smarter and more gentle ways. When each step is taken with preparation and care, you will find yourself feeling healthier, more flexible, and more in love with life each day. 4. Balancing the body's overall pH. You may have heard about balancing acid and alkaline levels in the body. It might sound like a distant or unfamiliar concept, but in fact, it is one of the key elements that affect your entire well-being, especially after the age of 60. The human body functions like a delicate symphony, in which pH plays the role of a silent conductor. pH is a measure of how acidic or alkaline the fluids in your body are. Our blood always needs to stay within a very stable pH range, around 7.35 to 7.45, in order for all organs to function normally. However, as we grow older, the immune system weakens and the body's ability to regulate pH becomes less effective, making it easier for the internal environment to shift slightly toward acidity. This shift may be caused by a diet low in vegetables and high in red meat, fried food, sugar, coffee, medications, long-term stress, and a lack of physical activity, while blood may still maintain a safe pH level. The tissues and organs inside the body are forced to work harder to neutralize excess acid. As a result, you may begin to feel tired, achy, experience poor digestion, have trouble sleeping, and become more prone to illness. At this point, baking soda can become a helpful assistant as a mild alkaline substance. Baking soda, when diluted in water, may help neutralize excess acid in the body's fluids. While it does not drastically change the pH of the blood, it may help reduce the burden on the liver, kidneys, and tissues when the body is struggling with long-term low-grade acidosis. Drinking a glass of warm water mixed with half a teaspoon of baking soda a few times a week in the morning may help create a more balanced internal environment. Many older adults who have followed this habit for a period of time report feeling lighter, more clear-headed, sleeping more deeply, and experiencing less chronic discomfort in the body. However, it is important to emphasize that this is not a method to alkalize the whole body, as promoted by some trends lacking scientific foundation. The human body already has a wonderful natural mechanism for regulation, and the use of baking soda should be seen as supportive only, not something to overuse. Using it too frequently or in large amounts may cause electrolyte imbalances or raise sodium levels in the blood. What matters most is subtlety. You do not need to change your entire diet or give up all your favorite foods. Just adding a gentle habit a few times a week can make a difference. This is the wise way of living, listening to your body and adjusting with care and patience. Balance, whether in nutrition or within the body, always brings stability, comfort, and resilience. For older adults, that becomes even more valuable. And when each sip of warm water mixed with baking soda becomes an act of quiet self-care, you are sending your body a gentle message of love, one that helps preserve your inner health with grace. 5. Relieving heartburn and acid reflux. There is a very familiar sensation that many older adults have to endure each night. It is the burning feeling that rises from the upper stomach to the chest and then up to the throat. This is the symptom of heartburn and acid reflux. Although it may seem like a simple issue, it can deeply affect sleep, mood, and overall health if it continues for a long time. Many people are used to keeping antacid tablets in the bedside drawer, like an old habit. But have you ever asked yourself why these symptoms keep coming back? And is there a gentler, more natural way to deal with them? When we eat, the stomach breaks down food using hydrochloric acid. However, if too much acid is produced, or if the muscle between the esophagus and the stomach weakens with age, the acid can easily flow back up into the esophagus. This causes a burning sensation and discomfort. At night, when the body lies flat and digestion slows down, this condition often becomes more noticeable. Baking soda, a substance known for its strong acid-neutralizing properties, can be a gentle and effective solution. When mixed with water, baking soda creates a mild alkaline solution that helps neutralize stomach acid in just a few minutes. The chemical reaction between baking soda and hydrochloric acid produces salt, water, and carbon dioxide gas, which can ease discomfort almost immediately. More than just a chemical reaction, the relief felt after drinking a glass of baking soda water can be truly soothing. The burning sensation in the chest fades away. You no longer have to toss and turn in discomfort during the night. Many people who have tried this method continue to use it as a gentle digestive aid after dinner, especially if they have overeaten or eaten too late. What is special about this solution is that it is not far-fetched or expensive. All it takes is a glass of warm water and 1/4 to 1/2 a teaspoon of baking soda. There is no need to go to the pharmacy or rely on medications. It is a simple and safe way to bring comfort to older adults. However, it is important to note that baking soda should not be used daily as a habit, especially for those with heart conditions, high blood pressure, or a low-sodium diet. The sodium in baking soda can increase your salt intake if used too often. The best approach is to use it as a temporary support when it is truly needed, such as after a large meal or when reflux disrupts your sleep. And if the symptoms happen frequently or continue for a long time, you should see a doctor for proper examination and treatment. One small action, a glass of warm water with baking soda, can help you regain comfort and restful sleep. It not only soothes the stomach, but also serves as a reminder that good health sometimes comes from the simplest things. And for older adults, the feeling of peace and a good night's sleep is a priceless gift. 6. Relieving discomfort from urinary tract infections. Not everyone talks about it, but many older adults, especially women, quietly suffer from the discomfort of urinary tract infections, the burning feeling during urination, the need to urinate frequently throughout the day, and even a sharp or dull pain in the lower abdomen can all be signs of a condition that is often overlooked. What is even more frustrating is when these symptoms keep coming back, one episode after another. It leaves the person not only physically tired, but also emotionally drained. Having to take antibiotics repeatedly can also create worry due to side effects and the risk of antibiotic resistance. In this situation, finding a natural, gentle, yet effective way to support the body is something many older adults are deeply interested in. And once again, baking soda, the humble powder from the kitchen, may play an important role. When diluted with water and consumed, baking soda helps increase the alkalinity of the urine. This is important because most bacteria that cause urinary tract infections, especially E. coli, thrive in acidic environments by making the urine more alkaline. Baking soda creates a less favorable condition for these bacteria to survive and multiply. While it does not completely eliminate the bacteria, it helps change the environment to make their activity more difficult. Many older adults who experienced frequent UTI relapses have used this method to ease mild symptoms or support themselves while waiting to see a doctor. A glass of warm water mixed with 1/2 a teaspoon of baking soda, taken once or twice a week during mild symptom periods, may help reduce the burning and discomfort. What is valuable here is not about replacing medical treatment entirely, but rather about self-care and being proactive in reducing discomfort, especially when one cannot immediately visit the hospital or is still recovering. In addition, using baking soda properly can help people feel less dependent on medications, which builds a stronger sense of control over their own health. However, important warnings must not be ignored. Urinary tract infections in older adults, especially those with diabetes or using catheters, can progress quickly and become dangerous if not treated promptly. Baking soda should only be seen as a temporary supportive method and never as a substitute for a doctor's prescription. If serious symptoms occur such as fever, back pain, blood in the urine, or an unusual smell, it is essential to seek medical help right away. Also, if you have heart problems, high blood pressure, or are on a low-sodium diet, consult your doctor before using baking soda, as the sodium content may have a significant impact. Caring for health in later life is a journey of deep understanding and patience. When you listen to your body and take simple but timely actions, you are already making great progress on the path to comfort and peace for yourself. 7. Soothing mouth irritation and bad breath. There is something many older adults rarely mention, yet often silently endure. It is the dry, burning feeling inside the mouth. It is the small ulcers that linger and do not heal. It is the quiet worry of not knowing whether your breath might be unpleasant to those around you. After the age of 60, the mouth no longer functions as smoothly as before. Hormonal changes, the effects of long-term medications, chronic dry mouth, or sensitivity from dentures can make the oral tissues more fragile. At the same time, odor-causing bacteria thrive in a mouth that is acidic and lacks moisture. In such situations, many people turn to antibacterial mouthwash, only to experience a burning sting from the alcohol and strong chemicals inside. Some simply endure the discomfort, thinking it is just another sign of aging and something they must live with. But there is a gentler, more friendly solution that is also very easy to do at home. Baking soda, once again, proves to be a quiet yet valuable helper in daily health care. By dissolving half a teaspoon of baking soda into a glass of warm water and using it as a mouth rinse once or twice a day, you may begin to feel a noticeable difference. Why is it effective? Because baking soda has the ability to neutralize acids inside the mouth. It alters the environment where odor-causing and inflammatory bacteria usually grow. Instead of killing bacteria with harsh chemicals, baking soda makes it harder for them to survive in a mildly alkaline setting. This helps reduce bad breath, mouth sores, and burning sensations, especially for those wearing dentures or dealing with persistent oral ulcers. A baking soda mouth rinse can help soothe irritated soft tissues, provide mild pain relief, and support the healing process. It does not cause stinging. It has no strong chemical scent. Instead, it offers a natural, clean, and pleasant feeling. And most importantly, it helps bring back confidence. When you no longer worry about your breath, when you can speak and smile freely without hesitation. You may feel younger in your everyday relationships, a family gathering, a conversation with loved ones, or even a simple smile to your neighbor all become more enjoyable when you feel comfortable from within. However, like all natural methods, baking soda is not a miracle cure for every oral health problem. If you experience persistent symptoms, severe gum inflammation, bleeding, or signs of infection, visiting a dentist is essential. Baking soda is a starting point for cleansing and soothing, but it is not a replacement for professional dental care. Still, something as simple as rinsing your mouth with baking soda every day can be a way to show care for yourself. It is a quiet message to your body that even after youth has passed, you still love yourself and continue to nurture freshness in every breath and every smile. 8. Suggestions for skincare benefits. As we grow older, our skin, the delicate outer layer that protects the body, also loses its softness and elasticity. Hormonal changes, weather conditions, medications, and even diet all have a direct impact on the skin, leaving many older adults frequently dealing with dryness, flaking, itching, or mild irritation. Many have tried different creams and ointments, yet the lingering itchiness or rough texture often remains, especially on the heels, palms, elbows, or lower legs after a warm shower. At times like these, instead of relying only on cosmetics, many people turn to natural, gentle, and easy-to-find ingredients. Baking soda is one of them. Thanks to its soothing properties, its ability to neutralize acid, and its mild exfoliating effect, baking soda can be used as a simple yet effective soaking treatment. Just dissolve about 2 tablespoons of baking soda into a basin of warm water. Then soak your hands or feet for 10 to 15 minutes. You may notice a soft and noticeable difference. Hardened skin on the heels becomes easier to remove, and the itchiness from dry skin fades significantly. In addition to soaking, Some people use diluted baking soda water as a light cleanser after sun exposure or when the skin feels mildly irritated from seasonal allergies. While it is not a replacement for dermatological treatments, for cases of dry or mildly sensitive skin, this method helps cleanse gently without the stinging feeling that regular soaps may cause. It is important to remember not to apply baking soda directly to the skin as a scrub or mask, especially on the thinner, more delicate skin of older adults. All actions should be gentle and soft, and the treatment should only be used 1 to 2 times per week to avoid stripping the skin's natural protective oils. Skin is not just a part of the body, it is also a reflection of health and the quiet care that comes from within. When a pair of hands is gently soaked, or feet are cared for at the end of the day, it does more than soothe the skin. It becomes a way to give yourself the love and attention that is so essential at this stage of life. When we are young, we often look for grand solutions to health, but at a certain age, we suddenly realize that recovery and well-being do not come from complicated things. They come from the simplest ones: a glass of warm water, a small spoon of baking soda, a quiet moment sitting with yourself. These can sometimes be the beginning of a profound change. In the journey we just shared, we explored 8 practical benefits of baking soda for the health of older adults. From supporting kidney function, relieving gout pain, helping the body recover after physical activity, balancing pH levels, soothing acid reflux, easing urinary discomfort, caring for the mouth, to improving the skin, all of it begins with a familiar ingredient right in your kitchen. What is truly valuable here is not only the usefulness of baking soda, but also the life philosophy it gently reminds us of: to slow down, to care for the body in a natural, simple, but loving way, without depending entirely on medication, without chasing after expensive treatments. You can still nurture your health each day with ordinary actions full of quiet meaning. Of course, not everyone should use baking soda without caution. If you have underlying conditions such as high blood pressure, heart disease, or are taking medication, always consult a doctor before starting any new habit, because the wisdom of old age does not lie in trying everything, but in choosing what is right and most suitable for your body. And if there is one thing to carry with you after this article, it is the confidence that your body still deserves care, attention, and respect. Each day, each glass of warm water, each small act of health care is a declaration I am still living well, living fully, and living meaningfully.